wattage lamp burned on Ted's desk. I used its light to scribble a note, which I then stuffed under the rubber band holding the files together. They contained job applications, background checks, and turn-down letters for 3 candidates I'd recently interviewed. 2 of the applicants had been excellent, and my note to Ted asked that he keep the files active. But early last week, my friend Craig Moreland had finally accepted the position I'd offered him last December. Craig, a former FBI field agent, was just the man McCone investigations needed. His connections from 15-plus years with the Bureau had already proved invaluable to me. Back on the catwalk, I strode fearlessly toward the stairway. No bat was going to intimidate me. "Hey!" I froze at the top of the stairway, trying to pinpoint the source of the shout, then dropped down behind the railing and peered through it. "Hey, Sharon! How come you're hiding from me?" I let my breath out slowly, recognizing the Australian accent of Glenna Stanley, a documentary filmmaker who rented the ground-floor suite next to the pier's entrance. Feeling both foolish and angry, I straightened. "For God's sake, Glenna, I damn near died of fright." "You? No way." She came out from behind her Ford Bronco, a petite woman with long, light brown curls and huge lamp-like gray eyes. "Seriously, I am sorry. I wasn't thinking." "No permanent harm done." I started down. "I wouldn't have shouted like that," Glenna added, "but I've been anxious to see you, to tell you about a bizarre experience I had last weekend." "Oh?" She nodded, looking exceptionally solemn for one with a perpetually sunny disposition. When I first met Glenna, I'd found her cheeriness suspect. Nobody could possibly be that upbeat, to say nothing of that nice all the time. But as I got to know her better, I realized how genuine she was, and we became friends of a sort. I often sought her out when I was feeling low, and this past rainy month I'd spent a fair amount of time drinking tea with her in her office. She said, "It's kind of a long story, but I think the sooner you know, the better. Would you like some brandy? I've a leftover Christmas bottle in my desk." Brandy sounded perfect. "Lead me to it." While Glenna searched her editing room for glasses, I sat in one of the low-slung canvas chairs in her office and listened to the rain splatter against the high arched window overlooking the Embarcadero. Across the waterfront boulevard, Hills Plaza, a former coffee mill converted to residential and commercial use, was largely dark. The globes of the old-fashioned streetlights along the Muni tracks glowed, highlighting the fronds of the recently planted palm trees. I caught my own reflection in the glass and glanced away, thinking I looked tired. There was a smashing noise in the editing room, and Glenna exclaimed, "Damn!" "You all right?" "I am, but that brandy snifter isn't." I smiled. The glass had probably been perched precariously if the editing room contained as much chaos as the office. Framed posters for Glenna's documentaries on such diverse subjects as Appalachian folk medicine and the ecology of the Great Barrier Reef leaned at intervals along the walls, where they'd been waiting to be hung for as long as I'd known her. Glenna returned, a trifle flushed and carrying 2 plastic tumblers. She poured the brandy, handed one to me, and sat in the matching chair. "Yes, it's a mess in there too," she said. "Which is why I broke the last of my snifters. I plan to do something about it one of these days. Or years." "More likely years." "You know me, I'm hopeless." But she grinned cheerfully, quite content with her slothfulness. "So, what are you doing here this late?" I shrugged, sipping the brandy. "Paperwork." "You can't find time for it during business hours?" "Not unless I chain myself to the desk, and I established the agency to keep from being confined to the office. Besides, I spent most of the afternoon helping Ted sort out what brand of new copier to buy. Leave it to him to suffer a totally uncharacteristic fit of indecision when I have a full inbox. He's been acting weird. It's hell when you can't rely on your most dependable employee. "Lord, you sound like me. Be your own boss and end up working harder and longer than you ever did for anybody else." "Right." Still, I didn't regret the decision. McCone Investigations was turning a profit and growing. We were steadily earning a reputation for solid, intelligent, reliable work. "So," I said to Glenna, "what's this bizarre experience?"